ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आन शृण्वन्नो दिवि सीदसादनम् महागणपतये नमः। प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्र्यवतु वाग्देव्यै नमः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयम् करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादम् शङ्करम् लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करम् शङ्कराचार्यम् केशवम् बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। अशुभानि निराचष्टे तनोति शुभसन्ततिम् स्मृतिमात्रेण यत्पुंसाम् ब्रह्मतन्मङ्गलम् परम्। ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोः श्रुत्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। ब्रह्मा देवानां प्रथमः सम्बभूव विश्वस्य कर्ता भुवनस्य गोप्ता स ब्रह्मविद्यां सर्वविद्याप्रतिष्ठाम् अथर्वाय ज्येष्ठपुत्राय प्राह। अथर्वणेयां प्रवदेत ब्रह्मा अथर्वातां पुरोवाचाङ्गिरे ब्रह्मविद्याम् स भारद्वाजाय सत्यवहाय प्राह। भारद्वाजोऽङ्गिरसे परावरा।
First two mantras of the Mundaka Upanishad describes the Atma Vidya Mahima, that this Vidya is a time-tested one, providing ultimate Mangalam to the learner, and this Vidya is earned by sadhakas who are sincere in gaining spiritual freedom. Bhagavan Ishvara is the Vidya Karta, Sampradaya Karta. All other rishis, beginning from Chaturmukha Brahma onwards, are Sampradaya Vid. Through Sampradayam, this Vidya is given to the next generation, and till date it is alive. This Vidya has to be gained with all Shraddha and Bhakti. Now third mantra.
शौनको ह वै महाशालः
शौनको ह वै महाशालः
शौनको ह वै महाशालः
शौनको ह वै महाशालः
अङ्गिरसं विधिवदुपसन्नः पप्रच्छ
अङ्गिरसं विधिवदुपसन्नः पप्रच्छ
अङ्गिरसं विधिवदुपसन्नः पप्रच्छ
अङ्गिरसं विधिवदुपसन्नः पप्रच्छ
कस्मिन् भगवो विज्ञाते
कस्मिन्नु भगवो विज्ञाते
कस्मिन् भगवो विज्ञाते
कस्मिन्नु भगवो विज्ञाते
सर्वमिदं विज्ञातं भवतीति
सर्वमिदं विज्ञातं भवतीति
सर्वमिदं विज्ञातं भवतीति
सर्वमिदं विज्ञातं भवतीति
Third mantra describes the qualification of a Shishya and indicates the responsibility on the part of the Guru who comes in the Sampradaya. In this mantra, you can see there are two words, Ha, Vai. Ha and Vai are Vruttartha. That means when you tell some story, you will add once upon a time, like that Vruttartha, remembrance of ancient incident happened, which is remembered by the Upanishad itself. So once upon a time, Shaunakaha Mahashalaha Angirasam Vidhivad Upasannaha Papracha. If you remove that Ha and Vai, then automatically this statement comes. Shaunakaha Mahashalaha Angirasam Vidhivad Upasannaha Papracha. It's a statement. Shaunakaha is the name of the disciple who is going to learn this Vidya in this Upanishad. Shaunakaha is given one attribute, Mahashalaha. Shaunakaha means Shunakasya Apatyam, son of a rishi called Shunakaha. Mahashalaha means Mahagrahastaha. What is the meaning of Mahagrahastaha? Great householder. What is the meaning of great householder? An householder who has followed all the responsibilities of household duties. What are they? Yajna, Dana, Tapas. There are three duties for householders. One is Yajnam, another one is Danam, third one is Tapas. One who has followed these religious duties, he alone is qualified, is indicated by the word Mahashalaha. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it is stated, Sametam Vedanu Vachanena Brahmana Vividishanti Yajnena Danena Tapasa Anashakena. Yajnena Danena Tapasa. This pramanam is taken by Bhagavan Krishna in Gita. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Yajna Dana Tapakarma Natyajyam Karyameva Tat Yajno Danam Tapaschaiva Pavanani Manishina. In order to gain purity of mind, one should follow these three responsibilities, duties, which are meant for grahasthas. Nowadays, if you see the society, grahasthas think that tapas is meant for sannyasis. And many poor people think danam also is meant for sannyasis. They come to ashrama to receive dhanam. They should come to ashrama to give dhanam. But majority of people who approach ashramas and mathas, they come to receive dhanam. Entire Society is in ulta condition. And puja also is meant for sannyasis, they think. These are all meant for grahastha. Puja, then dhanam and tapas. All the three are meant for grahasthas. Then you may ask a question, what is the duty of a sannyasi? There is no duty for sannyasi. Except one duty, there is no other duty for sannyasi. What is that one duty? Atma vicharam. For that sake only he has given all other duties. Because he has gained that maturity to live without duty. It is a great maturity. To live without duties, meditating on the Lord, doing Atma Vicharam is great maturity. It is not possible for all, even for a day. Therefore, only Shastra told, all right, live with doing some actions, performing these duties as a compulsory duty. Nitya Naimitika Karmani, they are called. So, this Shaunakaha, disciple of this Upanishad, is a qualified one for renouncing. Being Mahashalaha. Mahashala means Mahayagashala, Mahapakashala. In a Grahastha's house, there must be two shalas. Shala means a dedicated place. One is Yagashalaha, another one is Pakashalaha. Yagashalaha means a place wherein varieties of religious activities will happen. And Pakashalaha is a place wherein lot of food is cooked to distribute to the others. Now both are absent in many houses. The Yagashala is under the staircase. Pakashala is hotel. So why these ideas are brought out in the Shankara Bhashyam? The purpose is, unless you prepare yourself for a long period, hearing these mantras, trying to understand these mantras doesn't have any meaning. Don't waste time. It is like coming to attend a PhD class while qualified to study first standard. This is the problem in Kali Yuga. Without preparation, people come for Upanishad Shastram through window shopping. Then they find, how is it possible? How the world can be mithya? All these questions come as a sign of ashraddha, because people are not qualified for it. Once you are tired of doing all these three responsibilities for a number of years, then naturally you will seek for a solution which will allow you to be at peace without doing anything. Living as Brahman means what? Living as Sakshi. Living as Brahman means living as Sakshi. Sakshi for what? Sakshi for every happening in the creation, including in his own body and mind. How it is possible? Shastra gives a way of preparation. Without preparing oneself, people come to this Vidya, then they blame the Vidya. I have studied so many Upanishads, Gita, this, that, but nothing happened. If they don't blame Vidya, their family members will blame the Vidya. See, Swamiji, he attends your classes, and a kova mattum poga matandu. Anger doesn't go. Desire doesn't go. Ahankara doesn't go. When we see ourselves in a calm moment, we also find that so many years I am doing puja, going to temple, standing in queue, doing abhisheka, archana. Nothing happens in my mind. How it will happen? One side you are going petrol, another side you are giving accelerator, then you want to be without movement. How is it possible? Sitting on the bike, sitting in the car, putting accelerator with full force, having a petrol tank full, you want to be calm, quiet. How it is possible? So therefore, Mahashalaha is the word, beautiful word, which indicates all these ideas, which are in the form of qualification for the seeker required before approaching this Vidya. Maha Yagashalaha, Maha Pakashalaha, Maha Grahastaha Iyat. Why Mahashalaha is mentioned here? Because he was famous in feeding others. He was famous in doing varieties of yaga and yajna. Suppose somebody asks, where is the Shaunaka's house? Oh, that Shaunaka is Mahashalaha, very famous for performing varieties of yaga ajnas, inviting many people, because all cannot do yaga and yajna. Other three varnas are not able to do. Being a Brahmana varnaha, he is famous and providing opportunity to all to participate in that yagashala, and he fed the people who attended the yaga. Not only that, he is a person famous for feeding others. If you want to know an example in this modern age, still one family is there as Mahashalaha. In Dharmasthala, one family, Hegde family, I have the opportunity to meet him twice. In that house, all the time, pujas will be going on, varieties of yagas, yajnas, pujas. Manjunatha Swami is the deity there. In his house, at least 40 to 50,000 people are fed daily. He is a grahastaha, having family, children, brothers, lot of wealth, managing 150 schools and colleges, having a bank, rural bank meant for tribals, having 900 crore of rupees as the investment. But that person doesn't have an ornament on his body, even a gram of gold. With full of humility, he moves with all people. When we went there, as even he heard that sannyasi from Ramakrishna Mission has come, he himself came out and invited us. And I went with Vidupuram Balasanka children. He fed all the children. And he allowed the children to chant Vedic mantras and do bhajan 1.5 hours. He was there. When I asked when it started, he told 800 years before it started, Swamiji. So Mahashalaha means a person who is always active in doing Lokamangalam, serving the society. So that person is a qualified person. No, Swamiji, I cannot feed 40,000 people. Not necessary. It is not about the quantity, it is about the quality of the mind. It is about the intention of life for which sake I am living. Am I living to serve the society and gain this knowledge? Or am I living to grab the society and enjoy? This is the difference. One is prayers, another is shreyas. Living, serving the society in order to gain the qualification to gain the Atma Jnanam is called shreyas. living, grabbing the society and to enjoy the sensory pleasures. That intention is called prayer. Here the person who wants shreyas should qualify himself, being a mahashalaha. Without religious maturity, without religious purity, this knowledge is impossible to gain. That is what mentioned here. Upanishad also, in many places he says, in the same Upanishad it is going to come, Parikshya lokan karmachitan brahmanahasan nirvedamaya. First thing is you should be a brahmanaha, guna brahmanaha, a man of noble qualities in your mind, not necessary to show to others. As far as you are concerned, you should be convinced that I am a noble person with noble intention without trying to harm as much as possible others. I am a person who can happily hand over if there is a competition. I will not participate in any competition. I will not show my arrogance in front of others. These are all inner qualities. So, Pariksha Lokan, if such a Brahmana does verification about his life, then he will understand any amount of addition is not going to fulfill me. Any amount of enjoyment is not going to solve my problem. What is the problem of an individual? Every individual has a problem called apurnata, atruptihi, dissatisfaction. That apurnata will never go unless I gain something which is purnam. Then the question is, what is that purnam? Searching for purnam only, all human activities happen. So, desiring to be Purnaha is a very natural one for all. Then why all don't come to spiritual Purnatvam? Because they don't know that by spirituality I will be a Purnaha. Therefore, Pariksha Loka. Will I be Purnaha by being a rich man? Go for experiment for 10 years. You will understand, even after gaining so much of wealth, my Purnatvam is not possible. There is a building called Ananta in Bombay. The building has $2 billion worth of objects, having more than 300 rooms, owned by a multi-millionaire or billionaire Indian Ambani family. You go and ask Ambani, are you Purnaha? He will tell, no, I am not Purnaha. Another person was there as a multi-millionaire in the name of Ratan Tata. That man was living in a hotel. He has many buildings, 5-star hotel buildings. He owns, his company owns. But he was living in a small, humble way. What is the difference between these two people? Something different in their attitude, correct? Otherwise, why should they live like this? So, Shastra says, you have to do pariksha. You may not do pariksha everything in your life. At least see some people whom you want to become. You want to gain some golden cup. Before trying to gain that golden cup, try to find out that fellow who got that golden cup already and see his condition. That is called Loka Parikshanam. If you do Loka Parikshanam, being a Brahmanaha, a thinking person with noble intention, you will understand Nasti Akritaha Kritena. You understand now? So, without Yajna Dana Tapa Karmani, it is not possible to gain spiritual maturity. For a stingy man, no possibility of gaining little peace of mind even. For an arrogant mind, it is impossible to be peaceful. For undevoted mind, restlessness is the natural trait of a person. So, yajna, dana and tapas. Tapas is very important. Tapas is meant for householders only. Why you know? Tapas means restraining. Restraining can be told to whom? To a person who has a possibility of living without restraint. Correct? Who has the possibility of enjoying the enjoyments. Who has the resources of having sensory objects. And who has the permission to enjoy those sensory objects. To him only restriction is given. For sannyasi, neither he has the resource to enjoy, nor he has permission to enjoy. He lives on bhiksha. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna used to tell, a fellow went to bhiksha and asked the mother of the house, Bhagavati bhikshan dehi. He was little late in providing that bhiksha. So he got annoyed and told, if you don't give bhiksha, I will do what I did yesterday. While bringing the food, the mother heard that. Then he asked, Babaji, what you did yesterday? I did fasting. That is the possibility for a sannyasi. Whether it is for olden days sannyasis or modern days sannyasis. 2 times food, and you cannot decide what type of food you will have, how it is cooked. Nor you can ask masala dosa, bhikshan dehi. Nor you can have demand for AC room. Even if it is provided, your inner mind will tell it's all necessary, not necessary. And it is a punishment for a sannyasi to be in the luxurious atmosphere. Now and then we find ourselves trapped in that atmosphere. When we are asked to come to attend some function, we are accommodated in some hotel. That hotel bed is 2 feet bed. If you lie down on that, you will get back pain. And you go to washroom in that hotel, no bucket, no mug will be there. Only taps are there. Which tap will give water where? Bhagavan only knows. Varieties of punishment. We are accustomed for ordinary bedsheet, and if pillow is there, okay, other is also okay. So it's a punishment to be in luxurious atmosphere if he is a sannyasi. But for a grihastha, he has the permission and society accepts it and he has the resources. Therefore, only Shastra says, do tapasya. Since he has resources, Shastra says, do dana. Since he has to go through varieties of experiences in order to keep the mind as a balanced one, do yajna. Panchamaha yajna. This Panchamaha yajna is for whom? Certainly not for sannyasi. For a grihastha only. I hope you remember that Panchamaha yajna. Panchamaha yajna is to pay Pancharinam. As an individual, everyone has this debt. He has debt towards the Ishvara, debt towards the Rishis, because they have provided a beautiful culture to live in this world. And debt towards the parent and the elders of the society, debt towards the society itself. To get a coffee morning, you need so many people's help. Without them, you cannot get. The milk wala has to get up 3 o'clock and has to bring milk to your home. So, debt towards the society and debt towards the living beings around us. All these debts are for whom? Certainly not for a sannyasi. He has only one debt towards his Gurudev. You understand now? So, yajna, dana, tapak, karma is very, very important aspect even for approaching this vidya. When the mind and life is in this atmosphere, in this ecosystem, religious ecosystem, then only the mind will ask certain basic questions. Koham kuta ayataha, kame janani, kome tataha. All these basic questions, who am I? For what purpose my existence is there in this world? Who brought me? What brought me? How to get rid of this? Whose son I am? All these basic questions will come when? Only when you are tired of, only when you have nirvedam. What is that nirvedam? What is that nirvedam? Nirvedam means vairagyam. What is that? An understanding that knocking any door doesn't provide what I want. What I want? Tripti, which is in the form of freedom from anxiety, freedom from fear about the future, freedom from restlessness in the present, freedom from guilt of the past. This is what I want. When the mind is either with guilt or with fear or with anxiety or with restlessness, how it will be happy and peaceful? So, a vairagi, a nirvedi gains this knowledge. What knowledge? By knocking any door, I am not going to get what I want. By adding any object or person or situation in my life, I am not going to get what I want. What I want? Abhayatvam. In any type of attempt of getting something other than me, I will end up with adding more and more bhayam only. Bhoge, roga bhayam, pule chuti bhayam, vitte nrupalad bhayam, mane dainya bhayam, bale ripu bhayam, rupe jaraya bhayam, shastre vadi bhayam, gune khala bhayam, kaye kritantat bhayam, sarvam vastu bhayanvitam bhuvinrna, vairagyameva bhayam. Vairagyam eva abhayam. This is the conviction. Once for all, rejecting any attempt to gain anything. Once for all, rejecting any attempt to gain anything in the form of object or pleasure or people or experiences, I will not go far. That is called vairagyam. How this conviction comes? So the person is a brahmanaha, mahashalaha. So he has the experience of having varieties of things in his life. So he takes the list and checks whether this item in the list provided me abhayam, bhoge, roga bhayam, anything you enjoy, immediately you have an idea of what is the side effect. While eating ice cream also, children have this idea, Samji, my throat will be affected. While eating chocolate, children have the idea. Nowadays, many children don't accept chocolate. If you give chocolate to the children, they said, no, no, Swamiji, we don't want. Why? Teeth will be affected. They are particular about their teeth. So, bhoge, roga bhayam, pule chuti bhayam. If you consider yourself born in a high caste or kula, you have a bhayam whether your children will adhere to that kula. Nowadays, everyone goes to other nations, other places. Which one they will pick up? Which type of lifestyle they will pick up? Only Bhagavan knows. Whom they will pick up as their life partner? Only Bhagavan knows. So, Kule Chuti Bhayam. Within Nrupalat Bhayam, the more and more you earn, there is a Nrupaha government enforcement department. Mane Dainya Bhayam. If you find yourself a person with all name and fame, respect, you will not attempt to go to a new place alone. Why you know? Whether they will provide chair to me. Mane Dainya Bhayam. Whether they will invite me. This fear is there. That is why all people will have their own chamchas. You know, chamchas? Their own assistant, paid assistant. So these fellows will go before his arrival, then clear the way. And even when they come to the temple, these samchas will come to people who administered that temple and tell, so and so has come, so and so has come. They will try to get special darshan. Special darshan. What is the meaning of special darshan? Mane Dainya Bhayam. Because he cannot accept himself to be in the normal queue. Bale Ripu Bhayam. If you find yourself as a strong person in particular area, you will have the idea of having an opponent. Rupe Jaraya. If you consider yourself as physically beautiful, Jaraya Bhayam. Therefore only Fair and Lovely and other creams are scent and other cosmetic industry is thriving. On one bhaya, entire cosmetic industry is thriving, you see. Shastre Vadi Bhayam. If you consider yourself as a scholar, naturally you will try to boast about it. Unfortunately, if you have an opponent who can disagree with your explanation, then you are lost. Gune Khala Bhayam. At present, I am noble. What will happen in future? Kaye Kritantat Bhayam. With regard to this body, existence of this body, what is the Bhayam? Kritantat Bhayam. Yama Bhayam. Therefore, what is the conclusion of this Brahmanaha? Sarvam Vastu Bhayanvitam. Anything you add to yourself, it comes with a tag called Bhayam. If you want to verify, just do what I say. Keep 1 lakh rupee in your bag. Go to railway station, purchase a ticket with reservation or without reservation, no problem. Just try to put the bag on a seat and come out and walk outside the platform. What is your mental condition? You verify. Once I had this experience, I just kept my bag and came out and walked. 2-3 people keep, Samji, your bag you have kept, people will take away. I told, let them take away. Whatever is inside is not useful for anyone. Neither my class, nor the book which is inside the class. Free mind. No money in the packet. Being a grahastha, you cannot live like that. Because to put me in train, somebody comes. To receive me from train, railway station, somebody comes. Nobody will come to you. You have to book everything. Okay, keep it. But 1 lakh rupee in the bag, that will create addition of 1 lakh rupee. Create what? Bhayam. Similarly, anything addition to yourself will be the source of Bhayam. Therefore, the great renunciate, namely Bhartrhari Maharaj, gives 100 shlokas with all logic. It is called Vairagya Shatakam. I have just mentioned one shloka from there. Sarvam Vastu Bhayanvitam Bhuvi Nirnam Vairagya Meva Abhayam. let the arrival of anything in my life create bhayam. But within that period, I will manage to enjoy Swamiji. If you say, Bhartrhari Maharaj says, what do you call enjoyment? Please tell. You consider you are enjoying ice cream. But what is the fact you know? Ice cream enjoys you. Bhogana bhukta vayameva bhukta tapona taptam vayameva tapta kalo na yato vayameva yata trishna na jirna vayameva jirna. It's a beautiful statement. People go to picnic tour for time pass. We call it time pass and enjoyment. Now tourism department is thriving like anything. Hotels and tourism and motels and food items are thriving like anything. What is the attitude? It was not there 20 years before. Just now it started because of transportation facility. So they go for 2-day picnic, 3-day picnic. Considering it, let us spend time in a nice way with a different experience. What is a different experience? Going to a place wherein you don't need to restrain yourself. That's what everyone wants. In home means you have to restrain yourself. Known people. If you go with family also, in picnic you need not restrain yourself. You have the license in your mind. Today is picnic, so let us enjoy. What enjoyment? Who is enjoying whom? Kalona yata, vayameva yata. We are thinking we are passing the time, but time is passing us. Trishna na jirna, vayameva jirna. None of our desires are quenched. We are made to quench the ultimately. The faculties are made to become weakened. Weakened makes weakened. My Acharya Swami used to say, weak end makes a person weakened. With all tiredness only they come back. Because everywhere crowd nowadays, and India, everywhere crowd. Go to Uti, go to Yerkad, go to Yelagiri, everywhere crowd. Weekend crowd they call it. So traffic problem, then water problem, hotel problem, everywhere crowd. Google uncle says this is the hotel, nice hotel. You can search a hotel where to eat if you go to a new place. This is the place where in all facilities are there. If you go there, you have to stand in queue. So vayameva yata, kalo na yata, bhogana bhukta, vayameva bhukta. We don't enjoy the enjoyment. Enjoyments enjoy us. That is why in Upanishad, for enjoyment, two meanings. For the object of enjoyment, which is called annam, anything you enjoy is called annam. Food. Food through 5 senses. That annam has 2 names. Adyate, atticha bhutani. That which is adyate, that which is consumed, is called annam. That which consumes the consumer is also called annam. Adyate, atticha bhutani. Therefore, this nirvedam should come before approaching spiritual learning. That is mentioned, all these ideas there in cryptic form in one word, Mahashalaha. Because Mahashalaha means Mahayagashalaha, Mahapakashalaha. How much he might have tired of doing pujas and yagas and yajnas, and how much he may be tired of feeding others. Because to feed others, you have to earn, you have to procure all the rations, and you have to invite, you have to manage the crowd, and you have to feed nicely with all respect, then only they will come next time. Otherwise they won't come. It is like having a marriage ceremony daily. How it will be? So, Vidivati Saha Mahashalaha Angirasam. The Guru name is Angiras. Vidivati Upasannaha. Vidivatu Upasannaha. Approached his Guru with all Vidhi. What is that Vidhi? What is that Vidhi? First Vidhi is you must be a qualified person to approach. That's why many people approach sadhus without qualification. Therefore, they end up in asking pumpkins and husks from the sadhu. Swamiji, please bless me. I should get employment. Swamiji, please bless us. I am searching for a bride to my son. Swamiji, please bless my children. They don't have children so far. All these blessings are not there with sadhus. Please don't ask all these blessings. Sadhus don't have the capacity to give all these blessings. Even if they have the capacity, they will not bless. Why you know? They want you to join their party. What is their party? Hoge roga bayam, bhale chuti bayam. In Sringeri Pita, Mahaswami is there now, an elderly Maharaj. He was telling to a brahmachari who has become sannyasi afterwards, who shared this experience to me. When people come with all invitation, marriage invitation and asking for blessing, Maharaj was annoyed, it seems, one day. It is his daily routine. What to do? People want this, okay. Tell Bhagavan Nama, pray for them, that's all. But blessing from their heart will be in the form of always giving knowledge. So he asked the brahmachari, hey, why this drama? Why you are calling this drama? Like that brahmachari asked. What I have, they don't want. What they want, I cannot give. Why this drama of blessing? I gave up the world and took the shelter and the feet of the Lord because I found that it is a source of unhappiness. Why people are asking blessing for getting more unhappiness? How can I give them more unhappiness? See the thinking pattern of sadhus. That is the reality with all sadhus. So, that is why in our Ramakrishna mission, sadhus never will tell, I bless you. Jai Ram Krishna, they will tell. What is the meaning of that? You have to understand. Anything and everything, what they will tell? Jai Ram Krishna. You pray to the Lord. That only they will tell. Other Sampradaya sadhus have the habit of doing Ashirvada. And nowadays, they also do what? Narayana, Narayana. All these worldly blessings should be asked from the Devata. One individual is there in Tirupati, Tirumala. Go and ask him. He will give you anything and everything. Once I met a mother, shaven-headed mother. Generally, mothers shaving their head means it is a sign of gratitude towards the Lord. So I asked mother, why you shaved your head? Tirupati Swamiji, Tirupati. How many times you have come? 6 times, Swamiji. Every time I shaved my head. Oh, acha. Did he provided everything? Everything. All the 6 times he has completed my project. And how many hours you are waiting? 1.5 days I am waiting, Swamiji, in queue. 1.5 days in queue. 6 times he has fulfilled all wants. So Bhagavan is there. If at all you come to a sadhu, what you can ask? This mantra is going to teach you. Angirasam vidhivadu upasannaha. What is the first vidhi? You have to know what to ask from whom. And you should be convinced that you are qualified to ask that question. People ask, How Jagat is Mithya, Swamiji? How Bhagavan is Satyam? Are, do you have that qualification? One should have qualification. The very question itself is the sign of immaturity. When Shastra says Jagat is Mithya, Mithya is equal to Anityam. You know that anything is Anityam in this creation. If you know that, you cannot ask this question. Correct? Anything in the creation is Mithya. Mithya means Anityam, subject to arrival and departure. Don't you know that? Don't you know that? Therefore, one should have sadhana chatushtaya sampattihi, viveka shakti, vairagyam, samadhi shatka sampatti, then mumukshutva. A mumukshu will ask how to get rid of this Jagat which is Mithya. That is the proper question. A mumukshu will never ask how the world is Mithya. A mumukshu will ask how to get rid of this apparent existence. Because I find myself, I am living in an apparent existence. Everything is appearance to me. Correct? And it appears to each individual in different way. What I see, my own family member doesn't see. So it appears to that person, to the spouse or children in different way. Correct? So we are all living in apparent world. It is a known fact. If a person doesn't know this simple fact, what is the qualification for him to ask this question? Please tell. So a mumukshu will never ask how the Jagat is Mithya. A mumukshu will ask how to get rid of this Jagat which is Mithya. Jagat is Mithya is known to all if he has common sense. Everything in the world, everything in life, either it is personal or social or national, everything is subject to arrival and departure. How many prime ministers have arrived and departed? How many rajas arrived and departed? How many rich people? How much richness has arrived and departed? How many people in our life, in our family have arrived and departed? With gratitude or without gratitude? Everyone knows this. The question will be what? How to escape from this apparent Jagat? How to escape from this pretentious society? Society is pretentious. Everybody wants to get something from us in the name of relationship. They cannot be blamed because they have arrived in our life for receiving. Some have arrived in our life for giving. Giver will receive, receiver will give. Giver will receive, receiver will give. Transactions are there. Where is the love? Only one entity in our life who loves us, Ishvara. Have you found out him? Did you transact with him? That is why yajna is prescribed. Have you felt love in your heart? To feel that love in your heart, dana is prescribed. Love means giving, not taking. Giving in spite of getting beating. Giving in spite of being looted. Giving in spite of being cheated. That is called love. This definition will apply only for Ishvara. You loot him, you cheat him, you tell lie to him, you hate him, but he loves you. Is there any individual in our life with this definition? Sarvajnaha, Sarva Shaktiman, Sarva Dayalu, Sarva Sharanyaha. Is there anybody in our life? Is there anyone who happened to be an Achyutaha in our life? So, one should have that maturity to approach a spiritual teacher. Then only his approaching will be a fruitful approach. That is called Vidivadu Upasannaha. Qualification to ask question and asking a proper question. Asking that question with bhakti and shraddha. Bhagavan Shankaracharya writes, Shraddha Bhakti Purassaraha San Vidivadu Upasanna. What purpose this question is asked? Not out of curiosity. Garbha, Janma, Jara, Rogadi, Anartha Pugam, Vinashaya, this question is asked. I want to get rid of this apparent existence. Garbha, Janma, Jara, Roga, Adipadat, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, you and everything, etc. Anartha Pugam, Vinashaya. Anartha Pugam means a resource of all anarthas. To destroy the existence of all types of anarthas in our life. That means what? To escape from the pretentious existence. Correct? All our existence, physical, emotional, intellectual, are pretentious. We have to recognize this and accept it. We are always pretending to ourselves, to others. Udara nimittam bahakrita veshaha. One should be very, very clear in this. But society wants it. Therefore, I am pretending. But I know that it is a pretension. Imagine a Swami, a sannyasi, having funk hairstyle. Will the society accept? No, funk hairstyle. So, a Swami should have shaven head or jada and a bhasma or nama. Pretension. A dress code which is imposed on that person's life. It is not taken by that person. There is a sadhus who don't come to society, they live happily, even with kaupina, no religious mark on their head, not even shaven for years together. Why? Because they don't need to move with the society, living in caves and forests. Once in a while, for Mahakumbha Mela, they come. People are observing this as an individual who has landed from another loka. You know that? Sadhus without dress, they were roaming freely in Mahakumbha Mela. So people, the society can't take selfie because the person is something different. That Swami also doesn't know how to behave with the society because he has come after 12 years or 24 years or something, or first time. So he does like this in selfie. No dress. And the nobility which we find that we are having is an item to be experimented. As long as I am not experimented, I don't know whether I am having that nobleness. Correct? Then the intelligence which we feel that we are having is subject to verification. The nobility is subject to verification. The relationship is subject to verification. So, to get rid of this apparent existence, student should approach. That is called Vidivadu Upasannatvam. And asking, desiring for what he should approach? Nityam Shivapadam Icchan Parama Purushartham Icchan Upasanna. Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannaha San Upasannaha. Shraddha Bhakti Purassaraha San Upasannaha. Garbha Janma Jara Rogadi Anartha Pugam Vinashaya Upasannaha. The Nityam Shivapadam Icchan Parama Purushartham Icchan Upasanna. Being a qualified person, rejecting all enjoyments in one's life, one should approach. One should approach the teacher with all Shraddha and Bhakti. What is the sign of Shraddha and Bhakti? Readiness to live with the teacher once he accepts you as Shishya. Suppose, imagine a person goes to a Swami and asks this question. The Swami says, live with me for 3 years. I will teach you. Are you ready? Illa Swamiji, ticket book பண்ணிட்டு வந்துட்டேன். I have booked the ticket, return ticket. Are you ready? That's called Shraddha Bhakti Purassaraha San. You are ready to give up anything and everything, whatever you are doing so far, to gain this knowledge. If it requires to live in the forest or to live with that person whom you don't know at all, you don't know whether he has that answer for your question, you don't know whether he can share that answer with you. Are you ready to live with him? That is called Shraddha Bhakti Purassaraha San. Akinchanaha. You must be an Akinchanaha. You cannot feel that you have something worthy with you. Are you ready? Then, what purpose you should approach? Vinashaya, samsara vinashaya, which is in the form of garbha, janma, jara, roga, adi, anarthapogam samsara vinashaya, and to gain nityam, shivapadam, parama purusha. This is called vidivadu upasannatvam. How many people are qualified? Please tell. So as long as we don't get this qualification, we should not have an expectation that we will understand what Upanishad wants to say. Does it mean that we should not hear Upanishad? No, no, no. We can hear happily. We can hear happily. The very hearing will give you an impetus, an inspiration to qualify yourself. When the qualification will come, Bhagavan only knows. But this knowledge you will gain only after getting this qualification. All these ideas are in one statement, Mahashalaha Vidivadu Upasanna. Now you understand how cryptic these Upanishadic mantras. You can go on hours together. But now time is over. More detail we will see in the next class. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
तेषां चिन्ता नास्ति किल